Down tonight at a place that is anything but quiet. Winchester Speedway will give you the big eyes. And tonight you're going to be riding around it with this guy, Brian Gerster. We welcome all of the Thunderheads here to this wonderful old racetrack, nearly as old as the Brickyard. Home tonight for the USAC Stoops Freightliner Sprint Series as the Thunderheads gather, and we welcome all of you, and we offer you an early happy birthday, America. I'm Dave Despain, here to host the activities for this evening as ESPN kicks off a big racing weekend. We got the Pikes Peak Hill Climb. We got all the fun from Daytona International Speedway. But first, we have wildness here at Winchester. Nothing nuttier than sprint cars on this bullet-fast half-mile. Been a wild day already. We had tornadoes on this side of town, a train wreck on the other side of town that knocked out power here for a couple of hours. They got the electricity back just in time to fire up the clocks, and that just in time for Doug Coletta to jump back in his sprint car, which he hasn't been driving for a while, by the way, and go out and turn the fastest lap of the night. He's our quick qualifier, and we'll kick off the program that includes 3 qualifying heat races of 8 laps each. That'll bump 4 guys straight to the main. The winners of the heats will run along with one of the 4 fastest qualifiers in a dash for cash. We'll do the 10-lap semi to complete the field for the 30-lap feature that will be our main event here this evening. Now, it's a good thing they got the power back on, because that means we have air conditioning in the booth high atop Winchester Speedway, where tonight, ladies and gentlemen, you will have the pleasure of hearing the voices of our Thunder anchor Bob Jenkins and the 3-time USAC champion Larry Rice, and they will speak now.
Boy, I'm glad that air conditioning's on, aren't you, Larry?
Sure is nice up here. That's
Another
right.
thing I want to know is, in view of that onboard camera we have with Brian Gerster, when do you blink when you go around here, or do you?
Hey, there's 2 things you don't do at Winchester. You don't blink and you don't breathe. If you do either one, you're in big trouble.
Well, good evening, everyone. We're set for some Stoops Freightliner sprint car action here on the half mile at Winchester. The first heat is just about to go. Let's give you the starting lineup. The pole sitter is going to be Tim Cox in number 40. Outside will be Joey Kerr in car number 44. Second row, Gus Wasson in number 23. Brad Armstrong in 99. The third row will consist of Chet Phillip in the yellow number 77 and the 22 of Doug Coletta. And supposedly starting back in the fourth row is the 7A of Steve Anderson. I don't believe he's out there, though, is he?
Yes, he is. He's in that car, that maroon colored car back there in the back of the pack. They're pretty well lined up right now, but look at that third row. Doug Coletta, who has not run since the first 3 races of the year, but he's always very, very quick here. And he lines up right alongside of the 77 car. Oh, I guess you're right. There is.
Well, Gus Wasson is the guy that's not out there. His car is still sitting down here in the pit area, and it shows no sign of him getting in it. And in fact, they've got the rear tires off of it. So obviously he has a mechanical problem, and Gus Wasson won't be going here in the first heat. So we got 6 cars out there.
Well, that's too bad, because it does give Chet Phillip a bit of an advantage being in a row ahead of Coletta, but that was going to be a formidable battle. Those 2 guys trying to get through traffic and get to the front, because they're both very, very tough on this kind of a racetrack.
So watch the yellow 77 and the black 22 right behind him. They're the guys that were fastest in qualifying, and so you would naturally think that they might go up front and battle for the lead. But we shall see here as 8 laps of racing just about to go. The drivers are being given the 1 lap to go signal.
Well, of course, Tim Cox starting there on the front row. He's been running USAC now for a couple of years. Joey Kerr has not run all that much. He took over that car just this year. And there's a car of Gus Wasson. That car, of course, is owned by Chris Hollis, who is who is the catcher for the Baltimore Orioles. And that, you know, beautiful race car, but obviously they don't seem to be working on it too hard, so that's not good news.
Apparently it's finished for the evening. All right, 6 cars getting set to go here at Winchester in the first. Oh, Doug Coletta with a little love tap there on Chet Phillip before the green flag comes out, and the green flag waves. We are underway, and Joey Kerr quickly jumps to the advantage, but look at Chet Phillip on the bottom side of the racetrack. He's in second place already, and look at Coletta. He comes up to take second as Phillip goes to the lead.
Those 2 guys are really, really fast. Now it's going to be interesting to see you know, Kalita has not run now for, I'd say a month or so because of the business he has. Of course, he flies an airplane for his uncle, Connie Kalita. So he's been, oh, look at this again. He went right up, looked like he was going to give him a little boot in the rear end. And this is not the kind of a place you want to make contact, believe me.
Good battle for third also as Tim Cox was able to get around Joey Kerr for third, and now Kalita looks inside once again at the end of the backstretch. Dogging Phillips, trying to get around him for the lead of the heat race, but can't do it. Chet Phillip remains in front.
You know, right now, Phillip is as quick entering the corner and exiting the corner, but right in the very center of the corner, Kalita is faster. Right, see, they stay about the same right here. Gains on him, gains of 2 car lengths on him, almost right in the center, but coming off, he really gets a gunshot, and Kalita just can't do anything with it.
Lapping the slow car of Steve Anderson, so he's a lap down already. Kalita out of control at the end of the beginning of the backstretch, but saves it. He does lose several car lengths, but look how quickly he closes in once again.
And you don't know how difficult it is to save a car that's running sideways down the backstretch of this place, believe me.
Nor do I want to know. Still about 2 car lengths behind, closes in once again in the middle of the corner, takes a look inside. No room there yet.
Well, see what he's trying to do. He's trying to get in and pinch the car down under him coming off of the corner. He didn't do it that time. But the last time he tried to pinch it down, when he does, the back end gets loose, and that's what's causing that back end to wiggle around back there.
Here comes a white flag. We got 1 more lap to go, and I don't think Kalita can do it. Chet Phillip is holding off his advances. And let's see if he can do it on this final lap here. Kalita to the inside off the second corner. Nothing going on, though. He closes in once again, but Chet Phillip is going to win the first heat.
If Chet Phillip had run just a little higher or a little lower, he would have given Kalita a place to go. But he was running right smack in the middle of the racetrack. Kalita could not get under him. He couldn't pinch the car down under him. He wasn't working well enough, really, to go around the top of him like we've seen some guys do in the past. So he had to just follow him. But come feature time, it might be a different story.
Absolutely. Brad Armstrong finished third in that race. Tim Cox was fourth. Joey Kerr finished in 5th position, and Anderson was 6th. So the first 4 finishers in the heat races will transfer to the feature race tonight without going through the semi.
Of course, that car, Corey Phillips, is quite a different kind of a car that Chet drives. He drives it for his brother, Corey, and specially built pavement car, as is the one that Doug Kalita runs, and both of those cars proved to be very, very fast in that heat race.
Former competitor at the Indianapolis 500, a former resident of Ozona, Texas, but he makes his home in Indianapolis now. Chet Phillip is in victory lane for the first heat race. We'll take a break, be back and talk with him in just a moment.
How come you taste so good? Alcohol-free mix.
Napa, sponsor of NASCAR Truck Series champion Ron Hornaday, really knows how to put parts to the test. And now, Napa has the battery tough enough to be called the official battery of NASCAR. Introducing the Napa NASCAR Select. It's specially built to survive the extreme heat and vibration of professional racing. So it performs well during the race and after the race. The Napa NASCAR Select, available at over 6,200 Napa Auto Parts stores.
It's a trip to paradise, and this man has lost his vacation money. And so has he. This man was carrying cash. But he insisted on American Express traveler's checks. So while he had no one to turn to, this man called American Express as he tried calling home. With just one phone call, American Express can refund your lost or stolen traveler's checks just about any time, any place. Don't take chances. Take American Express traveler's checks, the smart way to do more.
Thunder from ESPN2 in Winchester, being brought to you by American Express. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, American Express helps you do more. And by Daytona USA, the ultimate motorsports attraction. Let's take a look at the results of the first heat race just completed here at Winchester. The winner was Chet Phillip. Doug Coletta finished second. Third was Brad Armstrong. Tim Cox was fourth. Joey Kerr fifth. And Steve Anderson finished in sixth position. Dave, what's Chet have to say?
Well, Chet and I were visiting earlier today, waiting for the tornadoes to blow by and get the race started, and being polite, the last thing I said was, well, see you in victory lane, and you made a profit out of me. Congratulations. That was a nice run.
Well, thanks. Yeah, the STL car is working real good. It's, like always, it's sticking right on the bottom, and motor's running good, and the car's handling good, so it's up to me.
You wasted no time, obviously, knew what you had to do, knew Coletta was the guy to beat. Let's go ahead and roll that videotape. We've got the first lap here. I want you to take a look at this. You obviously made your move in a hurry here.
Well, yeah, I'm watching the videos here, too, but, yeah, I knew I didn't have much time because Doug would be right on me, and I knew somebody probably drift up, so I shot under one, and just got under Cox there, and then got under the other car, Joey, going into three there.
What about now when he catches you, because he came right with you, he saw you going and said, well, I'm just going to hook onto that yellow car. Did you know he was back there that whole time? Could you hear him?
I knew he was out there about lap 2. I knew he'd be there. Because when you see the flash bulbs flashing, you know that somebody's right behind you. You can't really hear them, but I can see the bulbs flashing.
See him get real sideways there. That was a heck of a save. It's too bad you missed that. I'm glad you got to see it on videotape.
I don't like to see those. Yeah. No, I just want to thank Dick Fuller for over in Ohio for helping us out. He's been a great help with the standard testing labs, and of course my brother with the shock absorbers there here in Indianapolis.
Won the last race here, an earlier race here, and you won at Phoenix, back-to-back pavement races in the sprint cars. I'm wondering what this car needs tonight to make sure that you can keep him and the rest of these guys behind you. What changes do you make between now and the feature?
Well, we just got to get the perfect balance coming off the corners. The car has a tendency to push the right front off here, so I have to free the car up and get it where it'll drive off without burning the right front off.
Okay, man, you go work on the car, and we'll see you again in victory lane later, maybe. Huh?
Thanks.
Okay, that's Chet Phillip. He has won it. Well, we know that the boys in the booth are comfortably cool, and we know after their description of the first heat race that they are loquacious. Let's see just how good-looking they are as we go topside for a little further analysis.
What's loquacious mean?
I don't know.
It's always fun to come to Winchester. As we discussed last year, this place is only about 35 miles from where I grew up, and I've been coming here for a long time. The track has been around for decades, even when it was as rough as a cob, and now it's as smooth as glass. Always good racing here.
It's always great racing, and this place used to be known as the Road to Indy. If you came here and ran well, it was almost a sure ticket to get to Indianapolis. Not sure it's quite that easy today, but it's still a great place to come and race.
But we do have some saluting to do here tonight to former Thunderheads and current Thunderheads, because some of them are doing very well in higher forms of racing. I'm talking about guys like Tony Stewart, Jimmy Kite, Kenny Irwin, and Billy Boat, and others.
Oh, that's right. Of course, Kite and Boat, relative newcomers to the IRL. Jimmy Kite has signed a 5-year contract after his debut last week, though. He did a very good job. Billy Boat is going to run for Foyt, and of course, Stewart won his very first race. But you've got Kenny Irwin, who is in discussions for a Winston Cup ride after a couple of wins in the Truck Series already. Mike Bliss has done great, Stevie Reeves. So we've got a lot of guys who've moved in this series and have done very well. So I think they've done all open wheel racers proud.
And we understand that Andy Michener may be in line for a Busch Grand National ride also. Well, tonight we focus on the sprint car drivers of the current generation. Here are the point standings. Kevin Thomas is at the top of the list. The defending champion Brian Tyler is 49 back. Then Mark Casella, who is out of action because of a crash last weekend. Derek Davidson and Dave Steele are 4th and 5th.
Yes, and a lot of these guys are doing this, are running this series, especially Kevin Thomas, Derek Davidson, David Steele, specifically because the winner of the championship this year gets a test with Treadway on an IRL car, the car that Ari Leindyke drove. So they're all really wanting to win the championship just for that reason.
And if you win the championship, you're going to have to do well on pavement, and especially here because 7 events are being held here out of the 32 races that are on the schedule. And besides that, they also run the pavement at Indianapolis Raceway Park.
Right, so it's the pavement is a very, very important part of it. The dirt is also important, but boy, if you want to win, you've got to be able to run on both and do well here at Winchester especially.
And here are the pavement winners so far in 1997. Andy Michener won the first race here. Phillip won 2 in a row at Phoenix and then here at Winchester. Dave Steele has won twice on the pavement, both at IRP. At Anderson Speedway on the quarter high bank track there, Donnie Adams was the winner, and Brian Tyler won here at Winchester. That, by the way, his first win in the series. He won the title last year without winning a single event. Now let's take a look at the top qualifiers for tonight. Dave already told you that Doug Coletta was the fast qualifier. Brian Tyler is second.
Yes, Brian Gerster third, Chet Phillip, Dave Steele, and John Heidenreich is taking Mark Casella's place in the 96 car and has done a very good job qualifying in 6th position here tonight.
So the second heat race is lining up right now. We'll be back for it. Chet Phillip wins heat number 1 here at Winchester Speedway in Indiana. Stay with us. We'll be right back with more Thunder.
There's a big cover-up performed by millions of people every day. People who have ugly nail fungus. It turns nails' colors, makes them thick or brittle. But now you may be able to go barefoot without embarrassment. With more beautiful nails, healthier, clear nails. You see, nail fungus lives deep under the nail at the base. That's why it's so hard to get rid of. But by calling this number now, you'll receive a free video and learn how it may be possible to get beautiful, healthy nails back. Because today, your doctor has effective treatments that attack the fungus right where it lives. So call to uncover the truth about nail fungus and get your free video on nail care and treatments. The sooner you call, the sooner you may be able to go barefoot without embarrassment.
It's time to play long ball. Baseball's Lords of Lumber step up to the plate at the Jake for the Gillette Home Run Derby, where it's go deep or go home. Say goodbye, Mr. McGuire. Part of a big night of all-star action. Coverage begins at 7:30 with the All-Star Gala, presented by MCI, followed by the Gillette Home Run Derby at 9. Monday on ESPN.
Welcome back to Winchester, Indiana Speedway, where the USAC Stoops Freightliner sprint cars are set to go for heat race number 2. Before we go any further, we forgot to mention one former Thunderhead. What was his name again?
We just forgot it. I mean, so obscure. Jeff Gordon.
Oh,
nobody's ever heard of that guy.
Yeah.
Of course, he hasn't done too badly in the Winston Cup cars.
Too shaggy. Here's the lineup for heat race number 2. Mike Blake is on the pole in the orange car number 81. Billy Puterbaugh Jr. on the outside in car 16. Second row, Kevin Thomas in number 3, and Pat Abold in 69. The third row, Dave Steele, car number 2, and Brian Tyler in number 4C. And Brian has an onboard camera for us tonight. At a couple of laps, we'll get the green flag and get racing again.
Well, of course, this is a pretty hot and heavy field as well. Brian Tyler, of course, the champion from last year, starting back in the 6th position. He's going to be very, very tough. We're going to ride along with him, and he should give us a good view from that right front corner. As you look down the straightaway, and you'll get a chance to see exactly how close and tight things can get from back there in the back.
And looking ahead, that's the Hoffman car that's being driven tonight by Pat Abold. Andy Mishner, the regular driver of this car, but as we mentioned, he's in pursuit of a Busch Grand National ride, and so this car has been taken over by Pat Abold, who drives the Hoffman Silver Crown car.
Right. He was a natural replacement because he does do such a good job in their Silver Crown car. I think the thought was he couldn't run all the pavement races, so you know, in the sprint car series, so he wasn't going to do that, but obviously he's made the decision to come back and run those. Dave Steele in the black number 2 on the inside of the back row, and of course Kevin Thomas in the white number 3 inside the row 2. I mean, all of those guys very, very capable. Might point out Billy Puterbaugh outside front row has the only 6-cylinder car that's still running in USAC. Everybody's kind of gone away from those 6 cylinders, but Puterbaugh in the 16 car does have a 6-cylinder engine.
All right, Mike Blake begins to step on the gas and pull ahead of the rest of the field as they come down the straightaway and get the green flag. We are underway once again. Dave Steele to the bottom, and so is Pat Abold. Here's the onboard camera with Brian Tyler.
Boy, look how quick things happen up there in front of you. Oh! Man, I guess quick. You can see I think he was sucking it up as much as we were when he almost ran into it.
That almost gave me a heart attack. Man, oh man. Well, Blake continues to hang on to the lead here as Kevin Thomas challenges him in car number 3. Dave Steele there is in the black car trying to move alongside of Thomas.
Right. You can see that Steele trying to find a way around. Meanwhile, Abold right behind him trying to get up there. Now he's alongside Thomas. He's got a chance to get down there, but Blake running right in the middle of the racetrack. Now Thomas is running on the outside. Man, oh man, the racetrack is really full of race cars.
And Abold, as you saw, got around Tyler, and Steele is the leader at the moment as he's taken off and put quite a bit of racetrack between him and second place, Kevin Thomas right now.
Right, you can see now that Mike Blake has fallen back, just about to get passed by Abel, back to 5th spot now. And here comes Billy Puterball. He's also going to get around Blake because obviously he's slowed up quite a bit for the first couple of laps.
So Blake from the lead back to 5th position, and he's battling to hold on to that as Dave Steele, the young Tampa, Florida driver, has the lead. The best battle is for 2nd position. Tyler goes high on the racetrack trying to get around Kevin Thomas.
You can see that he's trying to find a way around him on the top side. That used to be really the fastest way. When they repaved this racetrack, it really took that real high groove away just a little bit. It's not as easy to get up there and blow by guys now as it used to be. And there again, he's right behind him, going to try to move out. If he gets up to the side of him, he's got a chance. But Thomas is just too quick around the bottom of the racetrack.
White flag is waving. We're on the final lap of the race. Dave Steele, a comfortable lead right now, and Tyler's still trying that high line as they go down the backstretch. Now he's right on his tail as they head for the 3rd corner. Tyler takes the 2nd position as they come off the corner. Tyler finishes 2nd. Thomas is 3rd.
Well, he did a nice job setting him up. He just went in under low, slid right up in front of him. And, you know, Thomas had to give him plenty of room because too dangerous to be rubbing wheels at this place.
Pat Abold finished in 4th position, Blake 5th, and Puterbaugh finished in 6th spot. So Dave Steele comes home the winner of heat race number 2 here tonight in the car owned by Johnny Vance. And I was talking to Dave Steele a little bit earlier tonight, and he's one of those guys who doesn't particularly care for the dirt. He would be just as happy if all the Stoops Freightliner sprint car races were held on the pavement, because that's where he got his experience down in Florida, and that's where he still excels. But nevertheless, he's up in the points despite the fact that he doesn't like the dirt. He wins heat race number 2 here tonight. So 2 races are complete. We got 1 more heat race coming up, then a dash for cash. The 30-lap feature will top things off tonight here at Winchester, Indiana Speedway.
This simple-looking device is the key to unlock your body's hidden potential. It can change the look and shape of every line and curve on your body. Because it's the weight, the challenge, and the secret behind one of the most effective fitness machines in the world. Introducing the Bowflex Power Pro. Bowflex uses patented power rod resistance to give you an incredibly smooth, natural feel for over 60 different health club quality exercises. With features like a built-in aerobic rowing exercise, convertible grips, and convenient folding capabilities, it's easy to see why a Bowflex was selected by Fitness Magazine as the best home gym for 1997 and was awarded a Consumer's Digest Best Buy. It's time to get the body you want with no money down and payments as low as $33 a month. Call right now for your free video and brochure. Discover the body you've always wanted with the Bowflex Power Pro.
This weekend, enough racing to make your head spin. Here's what's up ahead this weekend on ESPN 2.
Second heat race has concluded here at Winchester. Dave Steele is the winner. Brian Tyler finishes 2nd. Kevin Thomas and Pat Abold also transfer to the feature. Mike Blake and Billy Puterball will be back for the semi-feature event. Here's Dave Despain with Dave Steele.
And we were just contemplating our monitor here, which went to a pretty blue picture, just as we were hoping to show the pass for the lead. Before we get to that, let me congratulate you. That was a nice run. Once you got through the traffic jam, it was a little crowded there at the start, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it always is here at Winchester. It's one thing to run quick here by yourself, but you also got to learn to pass here. And Johnny Vance giving me a good race car. Bobby's has it set up pretty good. And hopefully we can get a little bit better for the feature.
Well, you mentioned the pass. That's our cue, I think, to roll that tape. We have that monitor working now. So let's let Dave take a look at it and tell us how you managed to get around Blake here.
Well, our car is working real good on the bottom. I mean, it seems like I can run a lot lower than than quite a few other guys, and it stuck down there, and we just made it work.
Is that something you set up for intentionally? Do you come here with the idea that you want to make it stick down low like that?
Well, actually, I think the fastest groove here is down low, but you know, you run into the problem passing guys down there because they're already there. So I think running by yourself down low is the place to be, but you need to learn how to get your car set up to pass up high if you have to.
We were talking during the heat race, the guys in the booth, about your pavement experience, but you kind of got Terre Haute pretty well figured out last weekend, didn't you? You qualified really well.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I mean, we qualified quick time, but, you know, it seems like the tracks get slick and we struggle real bad when that happens. So, you know, Jeff Walker gives me a good car to run on the dirt, and hopefully we can get our act together.
Okay, we're going to let you go get this baby ready, and we're going to take a look at those highlights from the Terre Haute dirt track action. It was the Hallman Classic, and Bob Jenkins is going to tell you everything you need to know about it.
Dave Darlin sat on the pole for the 27th Annual Classic, flanked by Rusty McClure. Darlin led the first 11 laps. The man on the move, though, was SCRA regular J.J. Yaley, who quickly moved up from his 10th place starting spot and on lap 12 passed Darlin for the lead. The race was slowed on lap 17 when Mark Casella and Derek Davidson got together on the front stretch, resulting in Davidson getting upside down. Last lap, Jack Hewitt tried to get by the young Yaley, but J.J. held his ground, and after the two touched in turn 1, Hewitt somehow kept control and hung on to second place. This is as close as Jack could get at the finish as Yaley recorded his first career USAC Stoops Freightliner sprint car win. And Larry, just after the checkered flag dropped on this race, Mark Casella, who you see here, was badly injured in a flip that began on the front straightaway. It took him out of the ballpark down in turn number 1. His car didn't stop flipping until it nearly went out of bounds into the parking lot. It ended up against a tree. The roll cage collapsed on the car. And as you'll see here in a few minutes, the roll cage went about 8 inches down into the ground, and Mark has sustained a head injury.
Yeah, and I think he made some contact with that tree up there, and that's probably what did a lot of the damage.
So our hopes and our prayers are for a fast recovery for Mark Casella. Let's get back down to Dave, and maybe he can update us on his condition.
Well, we can. Paul Wilson is one of our unsung heroes on the Thunder crew here because he helps us down trackside with all the shows. But he's also a good friend of Mark Casella, and you got to visit him in the hospital. How's things going for him?
Yeah, you know, considering the severity of the accident, Mark's doing really well. He's coming around, and he's doing a lot better. And, you know, he's a tough, strong guy, and I think that he'll be bouncing back and be on track before too long.
He was, what, unconscious for, I guess, a day or two, and then started kind of coming around?
Yeah, he was unconscious, actually, from Friday till Sunday morning, but he come around on Sunday, and yesterday he was come around and was talking, and he was eating, and he's coming around really good. We had him up walking. He's coming around.
When you go see him again, you tell him we all said hi, and we want to see him back here real quick, okay?
You bet, Dave.
All right, thanks, Paul. We're going to take a quick commercial break and come back. We got heat race number 3 on tap. Did I mention that Dave Steele can pick up an extra $2 grand from wins for winning that heat race? We'll be right back.
My name is Marjorie. I'm 65 and on Medicare. I use insulin to control my diabetes, and I'm low on my diabetic testing supplies. I should be driving to the drugstore now. But I'm not. Medicare covers my supplies, and I could be filling out these forms now. But I'm not. I could be paying out of pocket for all my daily testing supplies. But I'm not. Thanks again. Liberty Medical does it all for me. Liberty delivers my supplies, and I pay nothing up front. They handle all my Medicare and insurance forms. They even pay the delivery charge.
If you're on Medicare and use insulin to control your diabetes, call Liberty Medical. Get free home delivery of your diabetic testing supplies with the cost billed directly to Medicare. You'll have no upfront out-of-pocket expense, no inconvenient trips to the drugstore, no forms to file. You can trust Liberty Medical. Tens of thousands of American seniors do. And we're a participating Medicare provider. With Liberty, you'll have everything you need to test as often as you know you should. We offer all the name brand testing supplies, and our service staff is professionally trained to make everything fast and easy for you. Your satisfaction's guaranteed. If you didn't know Medicare covered diabetic testing supplies, call Liberty. If you do know but don't like filing all those forms, call Liberty. And remember, Liberty pays for home delivery. You have no upfront out-of-pocket expense, so you save money. Our number's toll-free, so call today. Liberty can improve your life or the life of someone you love.
I could be just a little pressed for time and cash, but I'm not.
Call Liberty Medical for more information. 1-800-926-2882. No upfront expense, no forms to file, no delivery charge. Call now, 1-800-926-2882. Liberty Medical is a Polymedica company.
The town of Winchester, Indiana is presenting tonight's race here at Winchester Speedway. 5,100 people live in Winchester, 27,142 in Randolph County. This is the Soldiers and Sailors Monument in downtown Winchester. It is the second largest in the state, second only to the Monument Circle in downtown Indianapolis. Okay, we got some racing for you here at the track with the third heat race set to go. Here's the lineup. On the front row will be Gene Lee Gibson in car number 0, the yellow car. J.J. Yaley in the blue number 4 is lining up outside row number 1. Second row, Derek Davidson in car 17 and Jason McCord in 95. And the third row is Johnny Heidenreich in car number 96 and Brian Gerster in 19. Brian Gerster has an onboard camera.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to ride along with Brian Gerster again, starting in the back of the pack. He's going to have to work his way through. You can see right now he's kind of assessing the guys around him, trying to figure out exactly what he wants to do. The starts are very, very important, and you do have to kind of take a guess as to what's going to happen in front of him.
He's blinking his eyes, making sure that he has enough moisture for 8 laps.
Well, he'll be all right. And there's Heidenreich in Johnny Toast's car, the car that pavement car that Mark Casella drove. It's not the same car, obviously, but it's the team car to that they run on the pavement. And I think this is one of John's first times. He's a big-time midget driver. Of course, Gerster was, too, until just last year. He ran most of the midgets up to that point. So, you know, a lot of midget drivers, a lot of dirt drivers in this race right here.
Here we go. They come down off the fourth corner, and the pole sitter, Gene Lee Gibson, lagging behind.
J.J. Yaley forgot this was not dirty. Tossed that thing into turn 1, got her sideways.
Well, I didn't think they would keep it, but they do, as Yaley jumps out into the lead for a while, but now as they come off the corner, it is the 95 car of Jason McCord up front.
McCord got around him, but of course J.J. Yaley has almost always been a dirt driver. This is only his third race, and you can see Derek Davidson in that 17 car. He has not run a whole lot of pavement either, so those guys struggling just a little bit, but Yaley really doing a nice job up there. That is a dirt car, basically, that he's running. It's not a special...
Oh, look out. My goodness, how did he save that? Unbelievable.
Heidenreich tried to pinch the car down underneath Gene Lee Gibson. He got that thing sideways. He had her pointed at both walls and still kept it going straight.
Third, fourth,
oh, there he goes again.
Sixth, they're running right together, and still Heidenreich is out of control.
Hey, I can see why those two guys behind him aren't trying to pass him. They don't know where he's going to be.
Unbelievable. This is Brian Gerster. We're watching from his onboard camera, and what action we are seeing. Gerster goes to the inside and gets the position, and he's still sideways in the second corner. Heidenreich is.
Yeah, he's so far sideways, he's just got to be making everybody behind him a little bit nervous. Now that Gerster's gotten around him, he's going to feel a little bit better about trying to get around. Look at Gibson, though. He's doing pretty much the same thing.
It's Gibson, Gerster, Heidenreich, and Davidson. Now Gerster shoots to the inside down the backstretch and takes over third position. Now he sets his sights on Yaley, who continues to run second. McCord is way out in front.
Now Heidenreich finally gets around Gene Lee Gibson down on the inside, and Davidson trying to do the same thing. He just hasn't found a way. Davidson is, you know, like I said, he's new to the pavement. He hasn't really figured out the passing part. He's pretty fast, but he's a little tentative on the passing, and to tell you the truth, I don't blame him a whole lot.
Jason McCord wins the race by about a half a lap. Boy, he really blew everybody away in that one. Here comes second place. Gerster gets second. Yaley third. Fourth is Heidenreich, and fifth would be Derek Davidson as he makes a pass on Gene Lee Gibson right at the finish line. So Jason McCord, he was bye-bye.
Boy, he was really, really quick. He got through the traffic very, very early. Everybody else kind of got hung up back there, especially Gerster. And Yaley did a very, very nice job running in third position because he got a good start and he kept the race car straight after that little incident up there in turn 1. But everything else, he did a nice job.
Gerster was able to get around Yaley, however, for second position in the late laps. And there is the Jason McCord car rolling into the pit area and headed for victory lane after winning our third heat race of the evening. Dave Steele won the second heat race, and the first heat race of the evening was won by Chet Phillip. Let's take a look at the top 5 finishers in that event. Winner was McCord, Gerster second, Yaley third, Heidenreich finished fourth, and Derek Davidson fifth, and he will have to run in the semi-feature. We'll be back to talk with Jason McCord in just a moment at Winchester.
Between 1945 and 1962, 331 of the mightiest nuclear bombs ever made, enough to destroy the world, were detonated by the U.S. on the Earth's surface, underground, underwater, and even in outer space. Now, for the first time ever, these powerful images, recently declassified and saved from destruction, have been digitally restored and remastered by special effects guru Peter Coran. Over 3 years in the making, this new video, Trinity and Beyond, documents these horrifying events with over 100 stunning shots of amazing explosions and massive destruction, including rare footage of Russian and Chinese tests. Only $19.95. This award-winning video will shock and amaze you. We guarantee for your money back. Find out what the government has kept secret all these years.
To order, call 1-800-920-8558. That's 1-800-920-8558. Or send $19.95 plus $5.95 shipping and handling to the address on your screen.
24 hours of sports news is a wonderful idea. That way you can have sports coverage of everyone, not just the headline grabbers, but all God's children. The less talented, the less athletically gifted. Of course, I wouldn't focus entirely on them. Maybe once a month, late at night. Are you guys showing any of those blooper reels? I love seeing some guy get a fastball to the groin.
Very impressive performance by Jason McCord as he wins heat race number 3 over Brian Gerster, J.J. Yaley, Johnny Heidenreich, Derek Davidson, and Gene Lee Gibson. Victory lane, Dave Despain.
McCord has done everything but win a feature at this racetrack. I mean, he's fast timed the joint. He's won heat races. And the wildest memory you have of this place, tell me about the wildest finish you ever had here.
Definitely, Dave. It'd be 1995, the last race of the year here. Doug Coletta and I and Kenny Irwin were racing coming off turn 4 the last lap, and Doug and I got together, and I flipped from turn 4 to turn 1. Actually went across the start-finish line third, you know, which third's like where I guess we're supposed to finish here. We finished third here so many times, unbelievable, but, you know, we'd sure like to win one here. It'd mean a lot. I grew up here as a kid, you know, and it's always been a special place to me, so it'd be nice to win one here.
Well, let's focus on this heat race and take a look at the pass for the lead. J.J. Yaley's got that dirt car out here. He was doing a little dirt track style driving in that thing, wasn't he?
Yeah, we took the green, get into one, and J.J. kind of got crossed up, and when he did, he kept the car on the bottom and let me get some momentum, and I just kind of drove by him on the bottom getting into 3, and, you know, J.J.'s still new on the pavement. You know, he's doing a good job. He's a great racer.
And you talk about momentum. I mean, you didn't win this thing. You just killed him. That car's good tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, actually, we were real good in hot laps, and we didn't qualify as good as we'd like to, you know, and we're going to have to start back a little bit. But if the car's real racy like that, I think, you know, we can pick our way up through the field and hopefully get up to the front of the deal. It'd be awful nice.
All right, keep the rubber side down, and I want to see you win one of these things, okay?
Okay, we'll definitely do, Dave. I'd like to thank Stoops Freightliner and everybody for putting this series on, and my sponsors, Payless Supermarkets, Roundy's, Duck Premium American, Widener Chevrolet.
Got him in there, and he's ready to go win the main event. We're going back outside. Congratulations, Jason McCord.
Well, Jason's going to climb in the car in just a few moments because the next item on the agenda is the Dash for Cash, the 3 heat race winners plus the fastest qualifier. What in the world is that thing on the racetrack? Well, it's a brand new type of race car, and if a former driver has his way, there'll be another rear-engine series in the near future for all kinds of drivers at an affordable price. Since the late 1960s, it's been difficult in some cases for drivers to find their way to the Indianapolis 500. These drivers are on the constant lookout for the car that's going to take them to the next level. That's where sprint car driver turned race car fabricator Mark Alderson steps in. He had a vision of a car that would give drivers a chance to gain experience in Indy-style cars at a substantially lower cost.
The cost of the car is we feel very certain that we can produce the cars for under $50,000. And the construction of the car is the latest technology like at IRL and that. but the construction technique is similar to Winston Cup in the materials and things. So we're able to keep a lot of the high technology with low technology materials and costs.
Alderson, a veteran of sprint car competition himself, sees this as an opportunity for not only sprint and midget drivers, but also those wanting to gain experience in Indy-style racing.
These cars are technically interesting, and I think they will provide a new outlet and an avenue. So I would expect some sprint car drivers to come to this series. I would also expect some of the SCCA drivers who have an interest and experience in these cars to come to this series. I would expect some people that did not make it to Indy to come back to gain to just get experience and find out how good they could have been. And then we'll have a lot of guys that are coming up. I think we're going to get new people coming into this area that are intrigued by the technology that normally maybe would never have run sprint cars or midgets.
Alderson's car is a tube-frame chassis with a stock Oldsmobile Aurora engine that will turn out close to 300 horsepower. He hopes to kick the series off in 1998 with a 10-race schedule and a winner's purse in the $4,000 to $5,000 range.
And from something brand new, let me take you back a few years. The old-timers are coming to Winchester on the 12th of July, and you're going to see babies like this. This is a 1930s era Riley sprint car. Bob McConnell is the owner of this car. It came out of Virginia. Bob, tell me about the big weekend that's coming up here on the 12th. I know it's an annual celebration, but this one's special.
It sure is. After 25 years, and many of the old cars, such as this, will be back, and the drivers. It's a special occasion here at Winchester.
We're going to get the opportunity to fire this baby up, take it around the track, maybe?
Not this time, just on the trailer right now for show, and we appreciate this spot for us.
What a great-looking car this is. Where'd you get it?
This is one that I bought many, many years ago and finally restored it. Actually, the first car of a number of them I have in my collection, trying to restore and preserve this era and the history involved with it.
You ought to be real proud of it. I hope you have a terrific weekend on the 12th.
Fine, Dave. I sure appreciate that. Thank you.
Everybody come to Winchester on the 12th of July. It's the 25th anniversary celebration of the old-timers gathering here at famed Winchester, Indiana. And I expect you to be here. We'll take a commercial break and come right back.
Some of the most admired cars you'll see are owned by the guys who know cars best. They're ASC certified master mechanics, and the #1 brand of motor oil these guys use in their own cars and trucks is Valvoline, makers of Durablend, the leading semi-synthetic for a cleaner engine due to better control of harmful deposits. So use the oil the mechanics who take care of your car use to take care of theirs. Valvoline. People who know use Valvoline.
You're ready to quit smoking. Great. Now you should know this. One patch is better at calming morning cravings. That patch is Nicoderm CQ. You can wear CQ 24 hours if you crave a cigarette when you wake up. And Nicoderm CQ is better than the other patch at calming morning cravings. You bring the commitment, Nicoderm CQ brings the rest. The power to calm, the power to comfort, the power to quit successfully.
On and 2 out. Owens to the plate. Third base coach Woods giving the signals. About the only action we've seen around here today. It's been a long, slow-moving game. In fact, 3 hours have gone by, and we're only in the 6th inning. Owens ready. Steps out. Looks like we've got another conference to the mound. Just a reminder, today's game is a doubleheader, so get jumping. We can be here for a while.
The 1997 Tour de France, 2,300 miles in 22 days. First up, a series of long-distance high-speed burns through the lowlands of Bordeaux. The Tour de France. Coverage begins Saturday at 11 on ESPN2.
Well, it's July 4th weekend. That means that the Pepsi 400 is coming up from Daytona International Speedway. Qualifying is here on the Deuce tomorrow at 3 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern Time. And then on Saturday, yes, that's Saturday, and it's at 11 o'clock Eastern Time in the morning. You can have breakfast at Daytona as ESPN presents live coverage of the Pepsi 400 NASCAR Winston Cup race from Daytona International Speedway as we mark the halfway point of the Winston Cup season. By the way, we mentioned Jeff a little bit earlier, but everybody here at the Speedway wanted to say hi and welcome the Performance PR Plus DuPont Motorsports team, including Jeff Gordon and Ray Evernham and everybody else who are watching us tonight in Daytona Beach. And also Kim O'Brien is with that team. She's the daughter of Linda Holdeman. Hi, everybody. We'll see you on Friday and Saturday at the Pepsi 400. Well, we're getting set up for the Dash for Cash, but right now Eldora Speedway is a track that we will visit later this year on Thunder. The USAC Stoops Freightliner sprint cars were there recently. Let's take a look at the highlights. The rare Sunday afternoon show didn't start off too well for Nick Adams. This is what happened to him during his qualifying attempt. Now watch the slow motion replay and notice how hard his head hit the steering wheel and then the ground. You wouldn't think that Nick would be able to walk away from the crash, but he did. Let's move on now to the fourth heat. Johnny Parsons is in orange in the middle of the track and all of a sudden gets run into by Terry Babb, whose damage was too great to continue. Here's the start of the 30-lap feature as front row occupants Kevin Huntley and Dave Darlin left the others in their dust. That's how they continue to run, looking for a cushion. Who else is up on the cush? Jack Hewitt, who started 14th, but by halfway was already up to 5th. 4 laps to go now. Hewitt had caught Huntley and Darlin. Dave was down on the bottom trying the slide job for the lead, couldn't get it accomplished, and Hewitt found the cushion almost gone. Next lap, Hewitt down on the bottom trying the slide job for second, but he hit the fence, caved in the plastic hub, and packed the rear wheel with dirt. So Huntley went on to win. Darlin was second, and third, an emotionally disappointed Hewitt, who wanted so bad to win for his dad, who 40 years ago took the first ever lap at Eldora. And Jack's father passed away recently. Our condolences to the family. We will be there at Eldora at Rossburg, Ohio on August the 6th. The same USAC Stoops Freightliner sprint cars will be on Thunder at 9:30 Eastern Time from Eldora Speedway in Rossburg, Ohio. Now, a little bit of a bonus here for you tonight as the Dash for Cash is lining up, featuring the 3 heat winners and the fastest qualifier. They will line up like this. On the front row will be Doug Kalita, car 22, and outside Chet Phillip. In the second row, we have Dave Steele and Jason McCord. Only 4 laps. It's worth a lot of money, though.
Well, we ought to get a pretty good idea in this race who's going to be fast, who's going to be tough come feature time. It's a little bonus for these guys, especially a guy like Chet Phillip that knows that Coletta was out running him a little bit. He can try a little bit something different. Maybe he can fix the car, maybe get it going a little faster. And if it doesn't work, you can always go back the other way for the feature. So it's just kind of a little bonus race for these guys, plus the fact they're putting up some money for this thing, too.
Absolutely. Well, all 4 guys have shown their strength here tonight in one way or another, so we're going to see who is the best. And when they come by this time, they'll get the green flag, or next time, I should say.
Of course, Fast Qualifier today got the Turbines Incorporated Checkered Flag Award, which is already worth $250, so that was a pretty good bonus. We got the $2,000 from wins, and Brian Tyler and Dave Steele both have a chance at that, plus the semi-winner tonight. So a lot of money up for grabs come feature time.
Absolutely. So 4 laps to go here. Coming up, the 10-lap semi-feature featuring the 7 drivers who did not make it into the feature during their heat races, and then the big 30-lapper coming up a little bit later. Down the backstretch they go. We get lined up all precisely here, getting set for the green flag. Coletta and Phillip on the front row. Steele and McCord in row number 2 off the 4th corner. Here they are. Green flag comes out. Dave Steele jumps quickly into second place over Chet Phillip.
Yeah, I'm going to be surprised. I guess they're going to let that thing go, but that was a terrible start.
No, I think the yellow light is on.
Yeah, Wally Shearer, our flagman, he waved that flag a little more vigorously than I would have thought he would have had he going to restart that thing. But he's going to give him one more lap because Coletta got a huge jump on Phillip, and I didn't think they would probably let that stand. They want those guys to come off of there. But that just shows you it doesn't matter. They still want to win this race. Philip was using the little tricks there, and I think Philip did exactly the right thing because he got so far behind that it looked so bad they almost had to let him get have another start.
Yeah, Dave Steele quickly moved into second, and Philip was back to third by the time they reached the start-finish line, and that just doesn't work in the USAC ranks, so we'll try it again. Now Philip stays up with a little bit better, and as a matter of fact, may have a wheel on him as they cross the line, but Philip falls back into second position as Doug Coletta leads down the backstretch.
Well, Coletta did get a nice jump, and he had the inside line. The inside position really is the preferred line here at Winchester nowadays. It used to be the outside was the best place, but since the repaving, the inside is a little bit better, and you can see that Coletta's using that advantage that he's got to pull out into a fairly good lead, a 4 or 5 car lengths lead anyway over Chet Phillip.
And with this race just being 4 laps, you got to make your move quickly and stay there. Dave Steele running back in third position, and McCord is in fourth. There is Doug Coletta. You can see the advantage that he has on Chet Phillip as they approach the white flag. Just one more lap to go in the dash for cash. Coletta looks like he's going to run away with things here.
Yeah, everybody got spread out pretty good. Coletta really has that car operating very, very well. Phillip, you know, can't really... Oh, look at the right rear tire smoke there coming off. And see, that's the thing that they're going to learn. They're going to go in... Oh, that's not tire smoke. Looks like oil's coming out of there. See how shiny the inside of that right rear is?
Yeah.
Boy, that's a real bonus. If that happens in the feature, history.
That may spell bad things for Doug here. We'll check on that when we have our interview with him in Victory Lane. But Doug Coletta does come home the winner in that dash for cash. Can you see anything, Larry, looking at it?
No, I don't see anything, but it did appear that the inside of that tire was shiny, which would lead me to believe that it was a little bit of oil. If not, it could have been something actually rubbing on the tire, that he might have bent the sway bar or something, let something get over into that tire. It appeared to be either tire smoke or some sort of fluid, maybe brake fluid came out of it. I'm not sure.
Well, it could have been tire smoke, but I think it had amounted to more than just what you think of as regular tire smoke going around the corners. It was coming off big time, even at reduced speed. Well, all right, we'll talk to him and see what he thinks about it when we come back to Winchester. Coletta, Phillip, Steele, and McCord, they finished that way in the dash for cash.
Firestone has developed a tire technology so advanced they use it on Indy cars in the worst possible condition, the rain. And if it can handle 172 miles per hour wet, 55 is a piece of cake. Introducing the Firehawk SC50, made possible by Unity, our ultimate tire technology, and by a tread patterned after our Indy rain tire, the Firehawk SC50, for the rain, for the road.
George Carlin is a comic master.
Isn't he nice?
That's all your house is? It's a place to keep your stuff while you go out and get more stuff.
Now, all your favorite comedy routines from George's 20 years of sold-out HBO specials are together on his new video, George's Best Stuff. You'll find out what the 7 dirty words really are.
You have to say them to find out which ones they are.
That's true. They're all in there, and much more. You get 90 minutes of side-splitting George Carlin comedy for just $19.95. Call right now, and as a bonus, you'll get the rare Carlin on campus.
Did you ever have a hatchet go right through your face?
You get both hilarious videos for just $19.95, so call now.
For fast delivery, credit card customers call 1-800-942-8866 to order George's Best Stuff for $19.95 and get the bonus video Carlin on campus, or send check or money order to this address. Call now.
This is truly a success story. This is a family-owned business in Winchester, Indiana, Wicks Pies, but they distribute nationally, and in fact, they are well-known nationally. They were making peanut butter pies when we were there earlier today, but I'll tell you what, you have never eaten a sugar cream pie like Wicks Pies makes. One of the employers here in the Randolph County, Winchester area. As a matter of fact, they're the second largest employer in the city. Well, nighttime here in Winchester, Indiana gives us Doug Coletta as the winner of the Dash for Cash over Phillip, Steele, and McCord. Here once again is Dave in Victory Lane.
And speaking of family businesses, that's the reason we haven't seen much of Doug Coletta since the first 3 races of the year. You've been flying those airplanes a bunch, I hear.
Yeah, Connie's been keeping me real busy. The flying service is it's doing okay.
it is obvious you haven't lost much of your touch in the sprint car. We got to talk to all those other guys because they were winners of heat races, so it's nice that you get to come here and grace us with your presence. Cars seem to be working pretty well right at the end. Do you know what happened?
Not real sure. The guys pulled it away as soon as they seen something, and I stayed here, so I'm sure if anybody can get it fixed in time for the future, it'd be those guys.
Beyond the problem that obvious oil, and you said you felt it behaving a little weirdly, was the car working to your satisfaction, or will you make some changes in it for the feature?
It was working nice. The car's really been working nice all day, and we're still trying to get that track record here, and maybe next time we'll get it.
Well, you got the fast qualifier. You got the start. You won the start here. That was a piece of cake, wasn't it?
Yeah. I got off a little too fast in that first one, but we'll hopefully go through there all right with the feature.
Okay, man. Good job. Go get that car figured out. See what's wrong with it and get it back out here for the main event, okay?
Okay, I'd just like to say get well to my dad. He's at home, Alan, so I hope he gets well soon.
Okay, man. See you back here maybe after the feature. They don't know for sure what's wrong with the car. They looked in there with a flashlight, saw a little bit of fluid, and said, get this thing out of here. We got to go diagnose it. So we'll have an update before the main event. Let's go to the booth.
Okay, there is Kalitta's car, and you can see them back there working on the right rear.
Yeah, you know, it was fluid. You can see how shiny the inside of that right rear tire was, so it almost had to be something that was coming out of there and spraying off of the exhaust pipe and up through that area. So he was leaking some sort of fluid. I'm not sure what it pretty much appeared to be oil, but it could have been power steering fluid, could have been brake fluid, could have been about anything.
We'll keep our eye on that situation as work continues there. Meanwhile, let's show you some more highlights. We've shown you some USAC sprints. How about the midgets? Well, they call it the Action Track in Terre Haute, Indiana. USAC midgets were there recently, and as per usual, the half-mile dirt track didn't disappoint. No, this four-abreast formation isn't the way they'll start the THAT Classic at Terre Haute the week before the Homan Classic. This is the green flag for 30 laps of racing with pole sitter Jason Leffler getting the jump on Andy Michener, Jay Drake, and Billy Boat. Boat's spin put him at the rear of the field for a restart, but that only gave him incentive to make moves like this. Just as he got around Jay Drake for second, David Bridges nullified the pass when he got on his head in turn number 2. But by the time the white flag waved, Boat had come from last to challenge Leffler for the lead. With Billy up on top and Jason playing huggy pole, the two slugged it out. The top was the best, and by the time they reached the end of the backstretch, it was obvious that Boat was going to win. But watch Tony Stewart in white overhaul Drake for third. A gear change made during one of the reds was what Boat credited with his 6th career USAC midget win, first of 97. How about that, huh? Nice performance by Billy Boat. However, the USAC midgets have raced twice since then. At Anderson, Indiana, Tracy Hines was the winner, Jimmy McCune second, Ted Hines third, Andy Michener and Jason Leffler fourth and fifth. And then the next night, they were at Mount Lawn Speedway, Newcastle, Indiana, with Robbie Flock taking the checkered flag over Jason Leffler, Ted Hines, Dane Carter, and Jeff Sands. Now, the point standings. Tracy Hines is 39 behind Leffler. Jay Drake is 67 behind. Chris Schultz is 4th in the point standings, and Tony Elliott is 5th.
Well, I think Dave is caught up with some of the guys in the crew down there. Let's see if we can find out what's wrong with Doug Kalitta's car.
Well, it was a little weird because Kalitta said he felt something before the car started to smoke. The diagnosis is this: the panhard bar broke, and that in turn broke the shock absorber. It's the second shock that they've broken tonight, so they've had to borrow a shock absorber, and they're doing a little modification out there. You see it's about ready to go on. Don Schilling is ramrodding the effort here. Don, of course, was an excellent racer himself, won here at Winchester, now retired and handling the maintenance on the car. They think they can get it fixed, but they are hustling down here.
Tell you what, that the panhard rod, it had to be something back there in the right rear, and we said it was either the smoke off something rubbing on the tire or liquid. And what happens when the panhard rod breaks, it lets the whole axle move over, and it lets that big, you saw that piece where the shock was sticking out there where the shock hooks on, that was actually rubbing against the tire. If that goes on for a couple of laps, it's going to blow the right rear tire, so they have to make sure they get it fixed right. There we see Brian Gerster. He's also making some repairs on his car.
So all kinds of activity down in the pit area while we're on a break here from the actual action on the racetrack. We have the 30-lap, make that the 10-lap semi-feature coming up here in just a few moments. A 30-lap feature race will end the activity here at Winchester. There's Doug Coletta as he took the Dash for Cash checkered flag, but a problem with that car has his crew hard at work. We'll be right back.
Look, if there's a way to have fun, somebody out there will find it. And that's cool with us. Hey, whatever makes you feel good. After all, that's why we put the fruit in Fruitopia. To make you feel good. So, keep doing whatever it is you do, and we'll keep doing what we do. Fruitopia. We just want to make you feel good.
Hi, I'm Joe Gibbs of Gibbs Racing. You know, no matter what you drive, or how you use it, or where you run it, use dependable Champion spark plugs. Because Champion offers top performance, superior strength, and added reliability. That's why at Gibbs Racing, we use only Champion spark plugs in all our engines, no matter what we drive. And you should, too.
Receive free Champion truck plugs with the purchase of Champion truck wire at participating auto parts stores.
I'd like a junior bacon cheeseburger with 2 strips of bacon for 99 cents. I'd like a 25-year-old body and a tennis bracelet, but it ain't gonna happen.
Only Wendy's 99-cent super value menu has delicious choices like a junior bacon cheeseburger made fresh.
And they're always 99 cents every day.
1-800-COLLECT presents Max Jerome, Private Eye.
Better call and tell them we're gonna be late.
You could save up to 44% if you dialed 1-800-COLLECT.
44%? You're kidding.
No, I'm not. 1-800-COLLECT is the easy way to save up to 44%.
ESPN2's Thunder from Winchester being brought to you by 1-800-COLLECT, the way we call collect today. Well, the cars are being all lined up for the 10-lap semi-feature event coming up here in just a few moments as the crowd looks on. Very warm and humid day in central Indiana today. As Dave told you earlier, we had some major thunderstorms. In fact, even a tornado touchdown not too far from Winchester Speedway, but as far as I know, it didn't rain a drop here this afternoon. We missed all of it.
Yeah, it sure looked bad everywhere else around here. I had to take a couple of detours around down power lines, so it was bad everywhere.
There you got a quick shot of Gus Wasson's car. It's out for the evening. They continue to work on Doug Coletta's machine. Well, we talked about how well the former and current Thunderheads are doing in higher levels of racing. We mentioned the IRL event, the most recent one, which was held this past weekend at a brand new racetrack out in the western part of the country. Let's take a look. After sitting out the last 2 Indy Racing League events due to injury, Scott Sharp qualified on the pole for the Samsonite 200 at the new Pikes Peak International Raceway. Sunday's race was also the first sanctioned solely by the IRL since it split from USAC. Sharp's day was short-lived, however, as his car slid backwards into the turn 2 wall. His was the first in a series of 9 crashes, including Jimmy Kite's one-car incident and this crash involving Billy Boat and Roberto Guerrero. All told, 82 of the 200 laps were run under caution. But Tony Stewart, still in search of his initial IRL win, dominated throughout. On the final restart, he maintained the lead and took the checkered flag for Team Menard's first long-awaited victory.
I'm glad more for the guys than myself. You know, I was fortunate enough in '95 to win 3 championships, and these guys haven't had a win yet, and this is finally their one shining moment. So, you know, this is probably better for them than anybody. It's just nice to get the monkey off our back. We know we've been fast everywhere, but we just have had a hard time finally nailing a win down, and now we've got it under our way, and now maybe we can keep a string of them going.
It was getting kind of old not winning, to tell you the truth, and I'm really happy we finally did it. This team deserves the win. You know, it shows that perseverance pays off, really, because we have tried so many times to win, and we've gotten so close, and it's been so discouraging to everyone, and we just had to keep at it.
So congratulations to Tony and John. Now, the only shot you saw in that highlights package was Jimmy Kite up against the wall, but believe me, he had a fantastic weekend. He came out right out of the box, and he was fast in the IRL car that he had never driven before, and certainly a big future for him. And the second thing I want to mention is that there were 2 injuries during the weekend. Jim Guthrie and Scott Sharp both Both have been released from the hospital, so that's very good news. Now let's get down to Dave.
I don't know how Stewart won that thing without Kenny Irwin there to motivate him, but congratulations to one Thunderhead graduate. And I want to put this guy on the spot because I'm hearing all these rumors. Roger Penske is on television talking about having his eye on Kenny Irwin to drive a stock car next year. You going to drive for Roger Penske?
No, I don't think so. You know, he told me that that he didn't want to run a two-car team, so I guess that kind of puts me out. Right now it does.
So does that mean you're going to do the Jack Roush deal then and drive the fourth Roush car?
No, I don't think so. Me and Jack haven't talked, so I don't think that's it either.
So we've eliminated two of the rumors. Now you're prepared, I'm sure, to enlighten me and tell me what you will be driving next year.
I sure wish I could. Right now, I really do. But right now, you know, I'm doing the truck deal, and I got a really great deal with Ray Bestis, and I'm just working as hard as I can on that.
So there's something else in the mill, but you're not ready to talk about it yet. That's what it boils down to, huh?
Maybe.
Yeah, okay. Well, let us be the first to know, okay? Tell me about, first of all, you go to Milwaukee this week, and you're going to win that thing. And then you got a monster weekend coming up. You're going to get back to your roots the weekend of the Brickyard deal. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm going to get to run Johnny Vance's sprint car or Silver Crown car. Then we're going to run the truck and a Busch car for Kentucky Fried Chicken. So that'll be a pretty neat deal, too.
Let's see now. Is that a Kentucky Fried Chicken Winston Cup deal coming next year, maybe?
No.
But we're going to get these guys. Huh? We'll get them all on a bidding war. This young man needs a ride. Send your checks to. Listen, whatever it is, we wish you good luck, okay?
Thank you very much.
Right, that's Kenny Irwin Jr., star in the trucks, and maybe soon to be Winston Cup star. We're going to take a commercial break and come back with more. We're at Winchester. It's the Stoops Freightliner Sprint Car Series, and we'll have more right after this. Irwin, get out of here.
Watch and weep and laugh and thrill as them bums, the one and only Brooklyn Dodgers, come to glorious life again in 5 new home videos. Roy Campanella, Pee Wee Reese, Duke Snyder, Jackie Robinson, and The Last Trolley, taking you back to a time and place when baseball captured our hearts as never before. To order, call 1-800-717-ESPN. $19.95 each, or all 5 videos for only $89.95 plus shipping and handling. The Brooklyn Dodgers, that's baseball.
Is it getting hot? Too hot? Don't just sit there and suffer. Run to your phone and call this hotline now for Sears installed central air conditioning. Act now so you can get energy-efficient central air conditioning from Sears installed fast. Convenient financing is available, so don't sweat it. Call now and get immediate relief from the reliable professionals at Sears, the most trusted name around the house.
It may not be the life many of you would choose.
Hanging out in hotel lobbies.
Always following the teams.
Just hoping to meet a power forward, point guard.
Dominant center with good passing skills. We know what you call us.
Groupies.
Pretty boys.
Boy toys.
Stud muffins.
Bimbos.
Man meat. Please don't judge us too harshly, because whatever we do,
we do out of love.
Love.
Love of basketball.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Los Angeles, Cleveland, tomorrow at 7:30.
When you tune in to Speed Week this Thursday night, not Friday night as regular, but Thursday night at 12:30 a.m., you will get an update on the qualifying for the Pepsi 400 and on the Pikes Peak Hill Climb, which happens on Friday. We'll bring you up to date on who qualified well for that. That's Speed Week Thursday night at 12:30 a.m. And you've been out at Pikes Peak, haven't you, Larry?
I sure have, and I got to tell you, that is one spectacular race. There's 156 corners in that racetrack. Now, I'm going to tell you what, I had trouble with 2 here in Winchester a few years ago, so I can't imagine going up that hill at the kind of speeds those guys run at. I know Mario Andretti said on an interview that I just recently saw that it was the scariest racetrack he ever ran on.
Okay, let's take a look at the lineup now for the semi-feature event. Gus Wasson, car number 23, supposed to start inside the front row. Derek Davidson, 17, on the outside. Second row, we'll have Joey Kerr, car number 44, and Billy Puterbaugh in 16. The third row, Mike Blake in 81, and Gene Lee Gibson in number 0. And in the fourth row, Steve Anderson in number 5. Gus Wasson is scratched for the evening, so everybody on that inside row moves up. Kerr will be on the front row, Blake in the second, and Anderson in the third. There is Billy Puterbaugh, who has been driving sprint cars for a couple of years here around the central Indiana area. However, he was in the Formula Ford 2000 race at Pikes Peak International Raceway on Sunday before the IRL event, and it ended up in the wall. That is him in the red car hitting the wall. And Larry Foyt and Corey Wetherill also involved in the incident. Nobody was injured in the accident, but Billy Puterbaugh's indoctrination into Formula 4 2000 racing kind of ended on a sour note. He tells me that he will not be doing any more Formula 4 2000 racing the rest of this year, but he does plan to do a bit of it next year.
Yeah, and that was a tough break. You know, he was running pretty good. He'd gotten all the way from the back up to the top 15, 12th or so, and just kind of pinched a little bit when somebody crowded him, and that's the result. And that's the way you learn not to do those sorts of things, I suppose.
Okay, let's see how this one goes. The first 4 get their time back. Everybody transfers to the feature race, however. Green flag comes out. Derek Davidson on the outside of the front row has the slight advantage as they go through the corners and down the backstretch. Davidson grabs the lead, and look out, Joey Kerr sideways.
Boy, these guys have done that 2 or 3 times tonight. I got to tell you what, I don't know exactly how they hang on when they get that far sideways, but Kerr caught his car and got it going straight again.
Puterbaughh running third, car number 16. Fourth position is Gene Lee Gibson in the yellow car. That's Joey Kerr running second at 44. He closes in on Derek Davidson in the third and fourth corners. Davidson hanging on to the lead, though.
Yeah, Kerr, after he ran that first corner way down in the very, very bottom of the racetrack, giving Davidson all sort of room. But now that it seems like he's found a little bit of a groove down there on the inside, and he really likes it.
Look at this, side by side.
Yeah, and now he's got a little squirrely right there. It's going to give Davidson the chance. Davidson couldn't take advantage of it, though, so Kerr got back around him. Nice job.
Joey Kerr from Sailor Park, Ohio, is driving for former driver Greg Staub. He has made 5 feature races this year. His best finish has been 11th, and it was right here at Winchester. He is in the lead of the semi-feature event. Davidson still running second. Now Puterbaughh may be climbing up to challenge Davidson.
Yeah, Puterbaughh seems to have found a nice little line where he gets way up high entering the corner, kind of diamonds down off the bottom, and gets a good run down the straightaway. Seems to have that thing working a little better when he drives it that way. And that's the good thing about this racetrack. You can run several different places. Not very many pavement tracks you can do that with, but here you can choose your place. You're brave enough to go there, put her there.
That's Steve Anderson that's running at the bottom of the track very slowly. He's getting some experience on the high banks of Winchester as we continue to watch Billy Puterbaughh, car 16, try to take second place from Derek Davidson. Got the car to the inside once again there in the corner, but couldn't get the job done.
And there you can see the disadvantage of that 6-cylinder. As long as you keep that thing pumping and keep the RPMs wound up, you're okay. But you get it a little bit shook loose like he did back there, and doesn't have the horsepower to pull itself on past anybody, and you give up a lot because of that lack of horsepower.
Just like that, he again pulls even with him in the corner, but going down the straightaway just doesn't have the muscle it takes to make the pass. And so Davidson hangs on to the lead as Joey Kerr continues to drive away. Now he's got a better shot at it. Nope, couldn't do it.
Very, very, very close. He had a nice shot at him coming up there, but he just can't do it. He does it all in the corner, and down the straightaway, Davidson just pulls him by a couple of car lengths.
This is the last lap. Let's see if we have a change for second position again. Puterbaughh goes to the inside. Can't do it. Joey Kerr is out in front. He's going to win the semi-feature race. There's the checkered flag. Hey, look at that. He did it. Puterbaughh did it in the fourth corner. Nice job.
He just slid it right up in front of him. And Davidson had to let out the throttle. He couldn't run over him.
The old slide job, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
So it's Puterbaughh finishing second, Davidson third, Gene Lee Gibson finished fourth, Blake was fifth, and Steve Anderson finished in sixth position. Joey Kerr is the winner of the race. He comes into this event 16th in the points, so by making the feature, he's going to pick up a few more. And he's headed for victory lane right now. Actually, he's taking another lap on the racetrack, isn't he? He's making sure that...
he probably hasn't won a semi in a while. He thought he'd just take two victory laps instead of one. So
savoring every moment of it.
He did a nice job, though. He got out front, did a very, very nice job to win that race.
All right, he'll be in victory lane when we come back to Winchester, Indiana Speedway. This is ESPN2's Thunder on a beautiful Wednesday evening in central Indiana. And we were going to go to break, but we understand that we have a fire in a car, and so we'll hold off the break right now until we see what's going on. What is going on down there? That's Puterbaughh, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Puterbaughh. He's getting out of the car. It looks like they're getting down, looking down inside. It might have been a grease fire down around the U-joint. They're looking down the inside of the car, and what happens sometimes, the U-joint gets real hot down in there, grease will catch on fire. It doesn't appear to be anything real major, but everybody certainly got down there around. Ooh, man.
Yeah, you can see that some of the paint has been burned off of the bottom part of the race car, so there was indeed some flame down in there. It's all over right now. Dave, what's Billy say?
Well, Billy's in the neighborhood. Let me grab him here and let him get his helmet off. Hey, Billy, don't run off, buddy. We want to talk to you. You were creating a lot of heat there for Davidson running that second spot, but then all of a sudden you had more heat than you wanted to deal with. What happened anyway?
I don't know what really happened. All I see was smelled some smoke and some red flames, so I tried to get out of the car as quick as I could. Didn't seem like nobody wanted to help me.
You got stuck in there. Did you get a hot seat?
Not really. I just saw the fire and wanted to get out of there before anything else caught on fire and tried to burn me.
Car okay, you think? Go back for the main?
Yeah, we had a lot of trouble in the heat race and through there, but we fixed it. We fixed it for the semi, and we should be in there for the feature.
All right. Good job driving and a good job getting out of that thing too.
Thanks.
All right, that's Billy Puterball. He had the hot seat for a while. I think he's going to be okay. I don't think he hurt anything too badly. Let's go back up top side.
Well, he made a nice pass there for second place in the closing stages. So Billy Puterball, we will hopefully watch him in the feature race, and this is what happened as we were quite concerned about him possibly being injured when we saw smoke and flame coming from that car.
You can see there they had trouble getting the neck strap unhooked, and he was trying to get out of the car and couldn't get out of there because they had that neck strap hooked to the shoulder strap. They couldn't get the shoulder strap but out from underneath his neck strap to get him out of the car. Where that fire was down nearer the back, so it wasn't the universal joint like I had thought it might have been. I'm not sure what it was. On the left side down underneath the seat, really.
Well, whatever the case, everybody is okay, and that's the most important part. So we talked to the second place finisher. Let's hold off the break while we talk to the winner of the semi-feature, Dave.
Yeah, we're hustling down here trying to keep up with all of it. This guy kind of got overshadowed when the runner-up caught on fire, but let's get the opportunity to say hi and meet Joey Kerr. Congratulations, good job.
Thank you. We made a bunch of changes tonight to the race car, and my car owner stayed home, and our other guy that helps us stayed home, so we're kind of 3 kids on our own, and I want to give a special thanks to Carl and Ryan. They're super good help, and I couldn't do it without them.
And it's kind of neat driving for a guy like Staub, too, who he knows his way around these things. I expect he can give you some good advice, too, huh?
Yeah, he helps us out a lot. We go into every racetrack and kind of got a basic setup versus where if we were doing it on our own, we wouldn't have anything to go by, and Greg's super help, and I want to thank him, too.
We got some videotape here. We're going to get you run over by your own race car, so let's move you a little bit. There is the pass for the lead. Now, this is Davidson. No, this is you. This is you all sideways. Dirt tracking, huh?
Yeah, dirt tracking on the pavement. The tires were still a little cold, and we just changed the left front, put a bunch more stagger in it, and it really helped out a lot, and I was just adjusting to the new race car, but I really like it a lot.
Here's where you put him away, but let me ask you about the sensation of getting one that sideways on pavement. Is it as easy as it looks?
It's not comfortable, I tell you that.
Things can go wrong in a big hurry when you get that sideways, huh?
Yeah, very much.
What about the outlook now for the main event? Do you think you can get the car into the top 5? Can you win this thing? What would make you happy with the outcome tonight?
I'd be happy with a top 10 finish. We're trying for the True Value Rookie of the Year, and I'd be happy with a top 10 finish. I'd be ecstatic with a top 10 finish.
Okay, man. Well, you got a shot at $2 grand tonight. Congratulations. Welcome to Thunder.
Thank you.
All right, that's Joey Kerr. He's won the deal. He's in the running for the wins money. We got stock cars out there running around. We got a commercial break. We are busy here at Winchester Speedway, and we're glad you're here with all the Thunderhead enjoying the USAC action. We'll be right back with more after this very brief timeout.
This week at Rancho La Puerta, I will swim 310 laps. I will run 23 miles. I will live 2 hours a day. I don't think so.
At Rancho La Puerta Spa in Baja, Mexico, you can do everything. Or should your determination completely fail you, absolutely nothing. But you can't do anything with American Express, so bring your Visa card. It's everywhere you want to be.
This week, I will run 25 miles.
If recent rains have you concerned, if you think your old roof may need replacing, call this 800 number and schedule a free in-home estimate from America's #1 roofing contractor, Sears. Now through Sunday, you can take advantage of $300 off when we install selected 30-year shingles. We'll remove your old shingles, do all the prep work, and leave you with more than a roof, a beautiful new roofing system. Call for your free estimate right now. We can even arrange for monthly payments as low as $96. If you don't know roofs, then get peace of mind by knowing your roofer. Sears. Satisfaction guaranteed or your money back. Hurry, this offer ends Sunday. $300 off selected shingles and payments as low as $96 a month. For installed roofing, gutters, doors, and fencing, call this 800 number right now. Improving your life by improving your home.
This weekend, enough racing to make your head spin. Here's what's up ahead this weekend on ESPN2.
Welcome back to Winchester, Indiana Speedway. ESPN2's Thunder for the USAC Sprint Cars here on this half-mile racetrack. Right now, however, the NASCAR stocks are out there with a little bit of fender banging going on, and I can tell you who's in the lead. It's car number 2, driven by Mike Roundtree from Montmorency, Indiana. And running in second position is car number 34, Dave Ellis from Cincinnati. There is the 38 of Mike. Whoop! We got a crash.
Man, we do have a crash. That looks like,
well, we have 2 number 2s. That's either Mike Windsor or Mike Roundtree. I believe it is
Mike Windsor.
Yeah.
Spun down there in the 2 car and got down to the inside. I think that's the second time. He spun a little earlier on the original start, so.
Well, let's tell you what you might encounter if you visit the town of Winchester, Indiana. Coming up here in the coming weeks, they have the first annual Children's Fair going on Saturday, July the 5th. Educational fun fair for the families. It runs from 9 to 9. They're going to have magic shows and clowns and country music singers and games and prizes. And even Dr. Jack Miller's Crestmobile will be on hand. The 12th will be McDonald's 25th Anniversary Old Timers Weekend here at Winchester Speedway with the Grand Marshal, Johnny Rutherford. On the 27th of July, the Indiana State Late Model Championship Series, a 100-lap special coming up, and NASCAR Super Stocks will be in twin features. So a lot of racing coming up here at the Winchester Speedway, and a lot going on in the town of Winchester.
Let's take a look at what happened a little earlier on the original start up here. You can see the 2 cars up at the top. The one in front, the 2 car, got a little bit of a bump, and he went right down in front and got T-boned. And I think that's the 2W car of Mike Windsor that we saw. And look at this. The other car goes up towards the inside. That's the 23 car of Tim McLaughlin. He goes clear on the inside of the crash wall back there, clear down the back straightaway in the grass, and rejoined him down in turn number 3.
I'm telling you. Hey, we mentioned the name Johnny Rutherford. As you may know, he has a bout of viral meningitis that he is recuperating from. And JR, get well soon. We want to see you here at Winchester and back on the IRL trail also. Now, what are we doing? Going to Dave Despain? Dave, what do you got?
Well, I'm going to sneak up on a couple of guys here. Talk about good fortune. I can get the update, first of all, on Doug Coletta. You got her fixed?
Yeah, looks good. We're going to be all right.
You able to make the adjustments that you wanted to for the feature as well as the repairs?
Yeah, we've managed to do that also.
So what are you talking to him about?
Well, he's just talking about the race and where he's going to start and stuff. That's about it.
You planning some strategy here? We're talking to Kevin Thomas, by the way. He is just the leader in this series. And a dirt guy. You're making a pretty nice adaptation here to Winchester. This is a little out of your normal element, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it is, I guess. But I really like Winchester, and I'm getting to like the pavement more every time. So, you know, I'm starting to understand what to do to the car, and I've asked a lot of guys, and Doug's been helping me, so we'll get her faster.
Or are you coming to him for advice then? Is that what's going on here?
Yeah, you just saw him run out, you know, however fast he was going, so he definitely wasn't asking me for any tips.
Well, you know that this guy is tough when the point leader is coming to ask you for advice. Good luck to both of you. Come with me. I want to walk down here and see if I can find Pat Abold. Remember the Silver Crown race at IRP? What was it, back in May? Well, here's the guy who won it in the Hoffman family sprinter, but he says they're struggling a little bit here tonight. What's the struggle, Pat?
Well, we're just struggling to find the balance of the car. We hope we got it here for the race. We made a lot of changes tonight. We just need to get the car comfortable and get it to go around the track fast.
How do you like this racetrack compared to, say, Oswego, which is home for you?
I was here once in 1990, and we had a lot of fun here. I
I've never been here in a sprint car, and it's a very fast track, and, you know, I need to get used to it, too. And tonight's the first time I've been out there with other cars, and I need to learn how to pass out here.
So are you just here to kind of take it easy, get some seat time, or do you take that thing from 8th and go to the front?
If I got a race car under me, I'm going to try to take it to the front.
I love that kind of attitude. That's Pat Abel. He's a legend of the Supers, and he's getting his first look at Winchester tonight from the seat of a sprint car. Back up top.
And the stock race continues here with Roundtree still in the lead. The 34 car of Dave Ellis is still running in second position, but the leader has a very substantial advantage on the rest of the field as he goes down the backstretch and sets the car into turn 3.
Yeah, he got off to a great start. He's been leading ever since, you know, the first couple of laps and just pulled away. But these guys back here in the pack are really battling each other.
That's a battle for third. The 38 is Mike Bryant, and the 51 is Dave Renner. Now, Renner in 51 hosts a racing talk show in Cincinnati on radio station WMOH called Pit Talk. He's from Mason, Ohio, and right now is running in 4th spot as the 38 tries to take second position. Mike Bryant trying to take it away from Dave Ellis.
Yeah, Renner's got a tire rubbing back there in the back. Whoops. He's going to be in big trouble pretty soon.
The 28 of Bill Bartholomew is in trouble. He's from Sharonville, Ohio, which is on the north edge of Cincinnati.
Yeah, he spun down to the inside. You can see clear down there, there's some gravel down on the inside of the pavement, way down on the bottom. And he's slid off the racetrack and down that gravel trying to get the thing refired and back up onto the racing surface.
So the yellow flag comes out here in the NASCAR Winston Racing Series Super Stock event. The replay will show us what happened to Bill Bartholomew.
Oh, I think he got just a touch of help right there.
Yes, he did. Scott Fields.
Scott Fields got into the back of him coming off of turn 2, and he did a big slide for life, clear down that back straightaway, and ended up on the infield down in turn number 3.
But Bill is okay. He's climbing out of the car. It would appear, however, as if his race is over. Well, we'll tell you who won in just a moment. Stay with us. We're coming back with more racing from Winchester, Indiana Speedway.
Introducing the 1997 Miller Lite stock car. Sure beats other sedans. The new Miller Lite Indy car. No radio, no heat, but hey, look at that handling. And if it's acceleration you're after, take a look at the Miller Lite Top Fuel Dragster. It leaves everything else at the light. Every Miller Lite car comes with our 16-second roadside assistance plan. We say, shoot, shop, and compare.
U.S. gold medalist Mia Hamm spends 90 minutes destroying her hair and 90 seconds bringing it back with Pert Plus. More than a shampoo, it conditions too. How? As you shampoo, the conditioners stay suspended. As you rinse, the conditioners go to work, giving you great hair simply. Perfect for Mia, because she wants great hair, but she'd rather be living in it than working on it. Wouldn't you? Pert Plus. Simply great hair. Simply.
What's the right grip feel like? Should you use the same club on every chip shot? The answers are in Golf Digest. No matter how well you play, you'll find tips and advice that will dramatically improve your game. Guaranteed. Want to know where the slot is at the top of your backswing? Or if you're good enough to carry a 4-iron, subscribe to Golf Digest. 12 issues are only $19.77. You'll also get our video, Hit It Longer and Straighter, free.
Call 800-247-3900. That's 800-247-3900.
Here's another family-owned business in the town of Winchester, Indiana. It's called Silvertown. They make commemorative coins for various events. They made one for Roger Holdeman last year, and they're making one now for the upcoming 25th anniversary of Old Timers Weekend. Silvertown, there's the coin they made in commemoration of and remembrance of Roger Holdeman, and as I said, they're making a new one for the Old Timers Weekend coming.
Well, and they deal in all kinds of gold and silver in there, and they've got beautiful jewelry as well as the coins and all sorts of things. And they buy and sell gold as well. So we take a look at some of the people down through there. You saw Kenny Irwin actually down under Chet Phillips' car, maybe giving him a little bit of advice on what they should change.
There's Gus Wasson's car. He is out for the evening. That's Gus there walking up to the car. Well, maybe not. Maybe they've got it fixed. Well, anyway, we'll see in a minute. We're going to take next week off, but in 2 weeks, we will be back with more Thunder. That's on July the 16th. It'll be the same USAC Stoops Freightliner sprint cars, but from Indianapolis Raceway Park in Claremont, Indiana. Our airtime will be 9:30 Eastern Time. We hope you'll join us for our next edition of Thunder 2 weeks from tonight. Well, Gus Watson's climbing in the car, so looks like that he may be able to run in this feature race coming up.
That's interesting. That thing was sat there. Nobody looked like they were working on it all night long. I don't know whether they were waiting on a piece to come get it fixed or what exactly happened, but you're right. It does appear like he is going to be able to run the feature event.
Well, that's good news. Dave Despain is standing by with J.J. Yaley.
With J.J. Yaley. Sorry, boys, I lost contact with Houston there for a moment, but we got you now. And we got J.J. You know this guy from the SCRA sprints. What are you doing back here running on pavement, man?
We're back here mainly for the dirt, but, you know, there's a couple pavement shows in between, and, you know, we just have the Action Diecast car here giving it a shot on his pavement.
A lot of guys here, of course, have special pavement cars. I understand this thing's won a bunch of dirt races, and when you're done here, it's going to go win a bunch more. Tell me about that.
Yeah, you know, we just had to convert one over for pavement. Here in a couple weeks is our last pavement race while we're here. We're going to switch it over to dirt and go win some dirt races here in a couple weeks with it.
You picked a pretty good place to come learn how to race pavement. How do you like Winchester?
For my third time on pavement, Winchester is pretty hairy out there. You know, I'm a little bit loose in the heat race, and it felt like I was on dirt more than pavement, but we made a couple changes, and hopefully the Arizona race tomorrow, Southwest Crane car will be going a little bit better.
Okay, man, good to see you back here. Hope you have a lot of success.
Thank you.
All right, that is J.J. Yaley. I'm having trouble hearing you, boys. Let's go back topside.
Thank you, Dave. It's kind of interesting. I asked J.J. what J.J. stood for, thinking that it would have stood for his first and middle name. That's not the case at all. His real name, and he says only his grandmother calls him his real name, is Chris. And the J.J. stands for Jimmy Jack. Now, he's a second-generation driver. His dad was Cactus Jack Yaley, and so J.J. stands for Jimmy Jack. How about that?
How about that? Yeah, his father is quite a character if you've never met Cactus Jack Yaley. He's been around a long, long time. He's obviously helped his son get going, and it's a family affair. And J.J. really gets in and busts his butt on that race car. I've seen him working on that thing just about every racetrack we've been to so far.
There's the winner of the NASCAR Winston Racing Series Super Stock Show here tonight, Mike Roundtree from Montmorency, Indiana. He has beaten all others in their feature race here tonight. We've got the feature of the Freightliner sprint cars coming up here in just a moment when we come back to Winchester.
To most people, this is just a uniform. But to me, it's something more. Every time I put it on, it makes me feel better and stronger than I was yesterday. When I'm in this uniform, I know no limits. You gotta see the pride in my mom's eyes. Or the way my friends look up to me. But none of that matches the satisfaction I feel inside. That's the pride of being a soldier in the U.S. Army.
Interested in wearing this uniform? Then now is the best time to call this toll-free number. Because we've got new incentives that make joining more rewarding than ever. Now you can earn up to $40,000 for college. Or if you have college loans, we'll help you pay back up to $65,000. Or you may qualify for an enlistment bonus of up to $12,000. Ready to wear this uniform? Call now for more information. There's no obligation. Call today to find out how the Army can
bring out the best of what's inside you.
Be all you can be.
RPM tonight, Monday through Saturday at 7 and Sunday at 8, only on ESPN2.
Little track cleanup going on here at Winchester. A little oil put down by one of the stock cars. That'll be cleaned up quickly, and before you know it, we'll have a whole host of sprint cars out there for 30 laps of racing. Johnny Heidenreich's going to start on the pole of the race here tonight. We understand that There are a couple of changes in the lineup due to things that have gone on down in the pit area. Let's check those out with Dave.
Well, first of all, the update on Gus Wasson is this. They broke a Panhard bar. Sound familiar? Kalita says his is fine, but Gus didn't have an extra one, and they didn't have any way to fix it. That's the reason they didn't work on the car all night. He's just going to go out there and start the race and maybe collect a few points. But Billy Puterbaugh, who had a hot seat here a minute ago, has now got another problem. What's going on here?
We're just trying to fix the motor, kind of cool it down a little bit. But we should be fine for the feature.
Are they going to send you to the back, I understand? Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that. I'm kind of glad you told me. We had to change the tire because the tire went bad on us. So that's why they're sending us to the back.
Can you win it from back there? That ought to be pretty spectacular.
That'd be nice, but hopefully we can finish in the top 10.
Okay, man, go get it. Billy Puterbaugh had to change a tire. He'll have to start at the back.
Well, of course, the ruling is you must start the feature on the tire that you qualify on, and if you do not, you go to the back of the pack, and that's what they're talking about. There is a tire rule here in USAC. You have to run a Hoosier. It has to be certain compounds that you run, and you have to start the... even if you replace it, you must put on the same compound, I believe. But if you don't start on the same tire that you qualify on, you must go to the back of the pack.
Well, while the cars are being readied for the feature, let's take a look at the heat results. In heat number 1 tonight, Chet Phillip was the winner over Doug Kalita. Brad Armstrong, Tim Cox, Joey Kerr, and Steve Anderson were the top 6 finishers.
Well, heat number 2, Dave Steele, Brian Tyler, Kevin Thomas finished in 3rd, Pat Abold, Mike Blake, and Billy Puterbaugh came in 6th position.
The top 4 transfer automatically to the feature. Jason McCord won it going away from Gerster, Yaley, Heidenreich. Derek Davidson 5th, Gene Lee Gibson was in 6th. Then we had the dash for cash.
Right, Doug Kalita won that in fine fashion. Chet Phillip ran 2nd. Also, he did a nice job. Dave Steele and Jason McCord, of course, rounded out the other 2 positions.
The semi results, Joey Kerr the winner, Puterbaugh 2nd, then Davidson, Gene Lee Gibson, Mike Blake, and Steve Anderson. And again, everybody will make the feature event.
The Wins Challenge money tonight, it could be won by Brian Tyler, Dave Steele, or Joey Kerr. Those 3 guys can win the $2,000 bonus. Also, Gene Lee Gibson and Steve Anderson won the Winning Spirit Awards, $250. Let's go down pit side to Dave.
We shall not start tonight's feature without talking to the defending champion in this division, and that would be Brian Tyler, who likes Winchester a whole lot. How about tonight, buddy? You all set to do some business out here?
Yeah, we didn't qualify quite as good as I was hoping to. I mean, I wanted to be quick time, second quick, starting 3rd row inside. Should be a pretty good race.
They're pushing them off all around you here. What's the strategy in 30 laps, or is there any? You just put your hoof in it and go.
You go flat out from the green flag to the checkered.
Okay, man, go out there and win one of these things, all right?
Thank you.
All right, that's Brian Tyler. He won the championship last year without a main event victory. Consistency was the name of the game for him in 1996. Tonight, he's going to go out and try to put a Winchester victory in the bank. He'll start from the inside of row 3. We'll take a commercial break and come back with the main event.
On their journey to the X Games, Mike Mitchell and Lawrence Fry really enjoyed the X Games soundtrack album. 16 modern cuts on one CD, featuring new tracks from Bush, Goldfinger, Sublime,
Life is so love the one you got, 'cause you might
and
give
Chronic Future. Also, Civ, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Prodigy, Helmet, Wu-Tang Clan, Public Enemy, and more.
X Games, the soundtrack album, on sale now.
Welcome to the future of drafting. Wow, I bet the guys that run this stuff spent years in school. No, you might be surprised. So what are the chances of me getting to work here? Well, first of all, you gotta love to draw. And second? And second, you gotta call ITT Tech.
For an informative brochure, call ITT Tech at 1-800-942-0099. That's 1-800-942-0099.
City versus Columbus, Friday at 7:30. MLS on ESPN 2.
Bob Jenkins and Larry Rice up here in the booth. Dave Despain pit side as we get set for the feature race here this evening. The Stoops Freightliner USAC sprint cars are being pushed off. Each year, those who have contributed to sprint car racing over the years are inducted into the Hall of Fame out in Iowa. Let's take a look at some of the inductees from this year. The event was held on the Marion County Fairgrounds adjacent to the legendary half-mile oval and museum. 15 people were slated to be inducted into the hall for the 8th annual event. Inductees included legendary auto racing filmmaker Dick Wallen.
Considered a real honor and a tremendous pleasure to have been voted in, and it's great to have people that I've been around for all these years that think that the job I did was good enough to nominate me first, and that I had friends enough to get me elected into the Hall of Fame. And I think that anybody who has an opportunity like this has got to be just on top of the world in their feelings of the honor to accept this award.
Also present was 1963 IMCA Sprint Car champion Gordon Woolley.
Frankly, I thought I'd never be here because I didn't win the Indy or something, and I thought that's the only way I'd ever got here. But it's just wonderful. I can't describe it. It's so wonderful.
Here's a look at those who were inducted into the Hall of Fame this year. And boy, there are some great names from auto racing in that list, Larry.
Oh, there certainly is. Bobby Unser, Kenny Weld, who obviously just passed away recently, Spiderweb, Gordon Woolley, all these guys. Joey James, of course, they run a memorial at Salem for him every year. A lot of great race car drivers. Dick Tobias got killed in a race car a few years ago, who won the Hallman Classic. So good to see them all recognized in such a fashion.
And here are some more. And again, people like Bruce Bromey, who was an owner and mechanic and a builder, and Barney Wimmer, also elected into the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame in 1997. Dave, who you picking in this race here tonight to feature?
Let's see. Is there a second question? I'll tell you what.
Oops. What happened? He went away.
I tell you what, his mic just quit working. Well, that's one way not.
That's right. That's kind of like hanging up the phone in the middle of a word when you put your button on. They think the phone quit. You really just hung up. That's what Dave did to us.
Right. Okay. Are you back with us, Dave?
As I was saying, this guy behind me is working on my equipment. It's not what you think. I had the feeling when we watched that first heat that we might be seeing a preview of the main event, but I had a little question about Kalita because he's been away for a long time, and then they had the problem with the suspension. But when he was down there talking to Kevin, I got the feeling that he is definitely squared away. We know how good Phillip is on this racetrack. If what Quidella's 3, what is it when you pick 2? I would pick either Kalita or Phillip to win the race tonight.
Okay, I guess that would be the daily double, wouldn't it? Anyway, let's take a look at the starting lineup. On the pole, car number 96, Johnny Heidenreich, substituting for the injured driver.
Mark Casella.
Thank you. Outside of the first row will be Dave Steele. Second row, Chet Phillip, car 77, Brian Gerster, onboard camera in car 19. Third row, another onboard camera, Brian Tyler, car 4C, and there's Doug Kalita in car number 22. Fourth row, Brad Armstrong, 99, and Pat Abold, 69. Fifth row, Jason McCord in 95 and Kevin Thomas in number 3. Row number 6, Derek Davidson in 17 and Joey Kerr in 44. Seventh row, Billy Feuderball and J.J. Yaley, 16 and 4J. The 8th row will have Tim Cox and Gene Lee Gibson. Row number 9, Mike Blake and Steve Anderson. And all alone back in row number 10 will be Gus Wasson in car number 23.
Well, this is going to be a very interesting race. It's going to be interesting to see how quickly Kalita can get to the front. If Phillip gets a big break at the first of the race, gets out front very early, then it's going to be a tough road for Kalita to catch him, get around him. He can catch him, but getting around him is going to be a whole different story.
We're on board with Brian Tyler as he lines up behind Chet Phillip in the yellow car number 77. There is Doug Kalita and Tyler alongside.
Yeah, that's Brian Tyler, of course. Tell you what, it's going to be a very interesting start. Heidenreich up there in that first row might surprise some people. He got a little squirrely there in the heat race, but you have to remember, he got here very late. He never got one hot lap. He got 2 qualifying laps, so that heat race was really the only hot laps he got. I'm sure that they made some adjustments on that car before the start of this race.
Okay, we should go racing this time around. 30 laps of Stoops Freightliner USAC sprint car action from Winchester Speedway in Indiana. Heidenreich and Steele lead him down to the green flag, and we're underway.
Dave Steele got a terrific jump. Gerster jumped right in behind him. Those two guys just went around Heidenreich extremely easily, it looked like. But now Heidenreich's holding up. Here's Chet Phillips down on the inside as he goes around Heidenreich. Heidenreich's bottoming out. That's the spark you see.
And Heidenreich is running in 5th position at the end of lap number 1. As Dave Steele has jumped out ahead of Brian Gerster, Chet Phillip, and Doug Coletta. Those are the top 4 as they go through the banking in turns 3 and 4 and now complete lap number 2.
We're right back here now with Tyler back in about 6th position as he's right behind Heidenreich. And you can see right now there's first 4 guys pulling just a little bit away from everybody else.
Dave Steele keeping the lead over Brian Gerster, but by only about 1 car length as the first 4 run nose to tail here on the high banks of Winchester. That's Doug Coletta, fast qualifier, bringing up the tail of this group. But boy, they are really battling for position.
You can see that Gerster seems to be very fast through the middle of the corner, but he gets a little bit loose coming off. And if that's the case, then it's going to be bad news for later in the race. Managing your tires, I mean, you got to run flat out. You got to run really, really hard here. But the way you have your car set up and the tire management is so very, very important. We heard Phillips say that he'd been burning the right front off of his car. We'll see what happens in about 20 laps.
On board with Brian Gerster. He's running in 2nd position. Up ahead is the leader of the race, Dave Steele. And Gerster hasn't blinked since the green flag dropped, and he's got those eyes wide open. He knows that both Chet Phillip and Doug Coletta are right on the back end of his car, trying to take a position away. There's Coletta. You see him trying to get to the inside, but for the moment, Brian Gerster holds off the challenge.
Yeah, Phillips trying to get down there, trying to get that position. Gerster's running pretty quick. Meanwhile, Steele's pulled out into an 8th or 9th car length lead over Gerster, as Gerster seems to be just a little bit... Oh, look at that. Man, he stuck that thing down in under him, couldn't quite get by him, and slid up, just barely missed him. Now then, going into the next corner, looks like he's going to make it by this time.
Yes, he did. Doug Coletta, or rather, Chet Phillip has taken 2nd position from Gerster. Now here is Coletta trying to challenge Gerster for the 3rd position.
Yeah, Coletta now has to work on him. You know, now they're getting into lap traffic, too, and that's going to be a big problem for everybody. As J.J. Yaley and Mike Blake up there, the blue car and the orange car, respectively, and they're... Oh, look at this. Coletta went on the outside of Blake and on the inside of Yaley. Meanwhile, he blew by Gerster. What a move by Coletta.
And so Doug Coletta now is in 3rd position. Dave Steele is the leader. Chet Phillip is catching him. Coletta is running in 3rd. Gerster is in 4th position. And I'll tell you what, Chet Phillip, we're going to have to keep an eye on him as we ride on board with Gerster, because Chet Phillip may make a race out of this before it's over.
Yeah, we're taking a look back there. That's Brian Tyler. That's battling back there in the back. I'll tell you what, they really have, there's battles all over the racetrack, really.
Yeah, there is Dave Steele. He has won twice this year in sprint car competition. Both of them have been on the pavement at Indianapolis Raceway Park. There he puts a lap on Derek Davidson. But look now, there's Chet Phillip, and Phillip is closing in quickly.
Yeah, he certainly is. He's really catching him, and right behind him, of course, is Coletta. He's coming up pretty quick, too. So this could be a 3-car race. Oh, look at this. Whoa. Joey Kerr tried to move down out of the way, moved right in the path of Steele. He saw the layover flag. He tried to get down out of the way, and Steele was already down there. That cost Steele some valuable time and gave Chet Phillip a chance to catch up.
Once you get out of that throttle and even on the brake, despite the fact that you're only off the throttle or on the brake for a very, very short time, it reduces your momentum and allows the guy behind you to catch up. Steele is beginning to pull away once again from Chet Phillip. There is Doug Coletta as he works on Tim Cox.
Well, I tell you what, there's a lot of dust down there. Somebody got really, really low down there in that corner, evidently threw up all sorts of dust. But you're right, Steele, all of a sudden, once he got around that traffic, he started to pull away from Chet Phillip. I'm wondering if that constant push that he's talked about coming up late in the race is not affecting him right now.
There is Dave Steele continuing to lap cars, and there is Tyler.
Yeah, he's now caught up with Brian Gerster, and so he's trying to make a move on Gerster. Gerster's got Kerr in front of him as lap traffic, and Tyler right now giving Gerster all he wants, as Gerster seems to have also had a little bit of tire trouble.
Gerster trying to make his car to the outside. Now he comes to the low side of Brian Gerster as they go down the front straightaway. Gerster, though, pulling in position, and we got a problem.
That looks like that's
Chet Phillip.
Chet Phillip, and that was Coletta, who went over the back end of him and caused him to spin out.
Wow, that could have been very, very serious, but as it turns out, Chet Phillip, his car is headed the wrong direction, and it means that he is not in second place anymore, but man, that could have been very serious.
Yeah, that turned out a whole lot better than most things like that do at this particular racetrack. That's the fastest part of the race course, down at the end, at the back of the corner. Let's see, as they're coming off of turn 2, they're heading down the back straightaway. Coletta gets a run. Whoa!
Oh,
it was not Coletta's fault. Phillip just got sideways. Coletta did a great job just to keep him running right over him and knocking both of them out. And, you know, Phillip's just sliding around there, slides up in front of everybody in the racetrack. Let's just take another look, see if we can figure out exactly. Oh, he just got, the back end just got loose. He just lost it like we've seen so many other guys do. Just so happens that Coletta was trying to make a move on the inside, and when he did that sideways slide right in front of him, Coletta had no place to go. He did a great job just to keep that car on all 4 wheels.
Well, looks like that Coletta's car is okay, although he made pretty good contact with Chet Phillip. Phillip takes the worst end of the deal. We are 19 laps into the race, 11 to go here at Winchester. Dave Steele still leads. We'll be right back.
You don't see this every day, but you do.
ESPN2's Thunder from Winchester, Indiana is being brought to you this evening by Radio Shack. You've got questions, we've got answers. And by Pennzoil, formulated for today's stop-and-go driving. Stop, go, Pennzoil. Onboard cameras are courtesy of CarQuest. We appreciate their cooperation in giving us the onboard cameras here this afternoon. You can dial 1-800-492-PART for the CarQuest Auto Parts dealer near you. Dave is with Chet Phillip.
Chet's car's just been pushed back in. When one turns that quick, I got to think something broke. What broke?
Yeah, we snapped the axle off. The live axle just broke in two.
A wild ride. Coletta about ran over your head, didn't he?
I don't know what was going on. I knew I was backing up awful fast, and then it turned, and I thought, well, I don't want to. I was just trying to guide it off the wall.
Yeah. You're okay?
Oh, yeah.
No damage here other than to the car. Coletta did a heck of a job of saving that 22. There went my pick. We're ready to restart.
Here they come off the fourth corner. There is one lap car between first and second. That would be Johnny Heidenreich. Dave Steele leads him down. The green flag is out. We've got 11 more laps to go. That is Coletta there, the third car on the right. Now he goes to the inside of Heidenreich, and there are now no cars between him and Dave Steele. Coletta sets sail for the leader.
Well, it'll be interesting to see. He's been the fastest car here all night, it seems, but Steele has been very, very tough most of this race. And I don't know that he can gather him in, and if he can't gather him in, whether he can get around him. Ooh, you can see right there, Tyler got a little bit high, and when he did, Brad Armstrong went right on around him.
He certainly did. Now the interval, only a few car lengths, and as we see Heidenreich here with Armstrong.
Yeah, Brad Armstrong's done a real nice job here tonight. We haven't said a whole lot about him. He started back in about 7th or 8th spot, and he's come through the field pretty nicely.
8 laps to go. There is the first and second place runners as Kalita comes up. As Larry said, catching him is one thing, but going around him is another. He's caught Dave Steele, but now the question is, can he get around him in the remaining laps? Steele has looked awfully good in this race, but Kalita is very, very fast.
You know, this is almost exactly the same situation we had earlier. He's faster than Steele right through the middle of the corner, but Steele is getting off of the corner a little bit better. Now that Kalita's trying different things. He's trying to run the racetrack a little different, trying to find a weakness in the way that Steele's driving the racetrack so that he can get around him. So far, he hasn't found that weakness. He's a little bit quicker through the middle, but it looks like coming off, he's got a little bit of a push. And the longer they run, the better Steele seems to go, and the slower Kalita is. He's really going backwards over the last couple of laps now.
In the 3 previous races for the sprint cars here at Winchester, Dave Steele has finished 14th, 3rd, and 3rd again. He's in the lead right now as we have just a few more laps to go, and the interval is growing, Larry. Dave Steele is pulling away.
That's right. Kalita has picked up a very bad push. Watch him coming off the corner. See the wheels? Turn hard left, and that thing's just still going up the racetrack. He's picked up a very, very bad push coming off the corners, and it's just going to prevent him. See, every time coming off the corner, he drifts way up the racetrack. That's going to prevent him winning this race, I think.
Less than 2 laps to go. There's Dave Steele moving to the inside of Derek Davidson, putting another lap on him. This time around, he'll get the white flag. We'll have 1 more lap to go in this 30-lap feature at Winchester. There it is. 1 more circuit around this half-mile high-banked racetrack. Dave Steele from Tampa, Florida, goes down the backstretch. A half a lap to go now.
Yeah, he's done a nice job. He led this race the whole way, but believe me, it wasn't easy. He had a lot of challenges from everybody and their brother, including Philip and Kalita, and he held them off. And the longer the green flag stayed out, it seemed like the better his race car got.
That's his 3rd feature win for 1997, 2 at Indianapolis Raceway Park, and he comes away the winner here tonight on the high banks of Winchester. We'll be back to talk with him in just a moment. Steele wins on Thunder. Back in a moment.
Napa, sponsor of NASCAR Truck Series champion Ron Hornaday, really knows how to put parts to the test. And now, Napa has the battery tough enough to be called the official battery of NASCAR. Introducing the Napa NASCAR Select. It's specially built to survive the extreme heat and vibration of professional racing. So it performs well during the race and after the race. The Napa NASCAR Select, available at over 6,200 Napa Auto Parts stores.
You're ready to quit smoking. Great. Now you should know this. One patch is better at calming morning cravings. That patch is Nicoderm CQ. You can wear CQ 24 hours if you crave a cigarette when you wake up. And Nicoderm CQ is better than the other patch at calming morning cravings. You bring the commitment, Nicoderm CQ brings the rest. The power to calm, the power to comfort, the power to quit successfully.
Hey, the Aristocrat Racing team are having a party, and they got a lot to celebrate, and this young man right here is the reason why. Dave Steele, that was just a heck of a run. Congratulations.
I'll tell you what, I couldn't do it without Johnny Vance, my car owner. He's a super guy, and Bob East comes out to the races and helps us out, and I just owe it to those guys.
What? The guy behind the wheel had a little to do with it, though, huh, Johnny?
He did a really great job, didn't he? He's the gasser.
You gave him a pretty good piece of equipment. What about the restart? Now, you had the Kalita right on your bumper when the thing restarted, and for the first few laps, looked like you might have a challenge for it, then you pulled away from it.
Right. Well, under the yellow, I looked up at the scoreboard, and I saw 22 was right behind me, and I got a little bit worried, but, you know, the car was working good, and I was just trying to hold my own line and not mess up, and I knew it'd be, even if he was a little bit quicker, I knew it'd be tough for him to get by me, so we just kind of stuck her on the bottom and finished the race.
You came in 5th in the points. You should gain a little ground in terms of the championship. Is that a big issue for you when you're primarily focusing on the pavement?
Well, I mean, we'd like to focus on the dirt and pavement, but it just so happens we just kind of take one race at a time and try to win every race, and however the points fall, that's just how it'll go.
We'll see you at IRP, though, before this year's out, huh?
Yeah.
All right, man. $2,000 from wins. He's got wins on the front of the car. It's a big celebration here tonight for Dave Steele, the race winner. Let's go back up top side.
And take a look at the final results here this evening. Dave Steele, an outstanding job. Kalita was 2nd, then Gerster, Brad Armstrong. Nice run for him, and Brian Tyler was 5th. Taking a look at 6 through 10, it's Pat Abold, Kevin Thomas, Tim Cox, Heidenreich, and Joey Kerr.
Yeah, those guys did a nice job. I'll tell you what, this is such a tough racetrack. A guy that does, even runs in the top 10 at a place like this, a guy like Kevin Thomas, who has not run a lot of pavement, did a great job. And I think you're right, Brad Armstrong, I think that's the best race I've ever seen him run.
And there's Brian Gerster's car. He finishes in 3rd position. We understand that Thomas now leads Tyler by 37 points in the battle for the championship in the USAC Stoops Freightliner Sprint Car Series. And we're headed next to Indianapolis Raceway Park in 2 weeks. Again, we'll see the same sprint cars on the paved track, but it's a little different than this.
Well, it's a whole lot different than this, but it's a flatter pavement racetrack than this, and it'll be interesting to see. I think we'll have a few more cars there, and a very, very tough racetrack to run.
Dave, that's it from up top here.
I just want to say that I thought the onboard video guys did a great job tonight. I love those pictures of Gerster's eyes and all that action behind him. We tip our hat to them for a great job. Well, Winchester has lived up to its billing. The community sponsored the race tonight at its namesake Speedway, and it proved to be a good one. And it just kicks off the holiday weekend. Tomorrow, we've got qualifying for the Winston Cup cars down at Daytona, 3 o'clock Eastern Time, 12 o'clock on the left coast. Be sure and tune in for that. See if Jeff Gordon can continue his incredible role as a Thunder graduate. The race is Saturday morning, 11 o'clock Eastern Time. Jenkins and I and all the rest of us will all be there. Thunder comes back July 16th. That's 2 weeks for the USAC Stoops Freightliner Sprint Cars from Indianapolis Raceway Park. I want to see you there. Congratulations to Dave Steele and the Aristocrat team for a great victory here tonight. For all of us at Thunder, I'm Dave Despain. See you.